Think of every incompetent leader you have ever seen ascend, from the tyrants who scarred history to the billionaires who now dominate headlines. Men and women who blundered openly, whose errors were visible to all, and yet, paradoxically, climbed higher with each mistake. We look at them in disbelief, as if history is mocking us with the same cruel joke repeated again and again. It feels irrational, like chaos without order. But what if it is not chaos at all? What if beneath the madness there lies a brutal design? A hidden logic older than kingdoms and empires. A cold arithmetic whispered long ago by one of the most unsettling minds in political thought, Niccolo Machiavelli. Machiavelli exposed a truth that philosophers before him had been too timid to confront. Power does not consistently reward wisdom. More often, it rewards something far more dangerous. It rewards the appearance of wisdom, the illusion of competence. And once this principle is seen clearly, the masks of leadership, past and present, begin to crack. You no longer see the world as it pretends to be, but as it truly is, a theater where perception rules over reality. In the early 1500s, amid the shifting alliances and blood-soaked intrigues of Renaissance Italy, Machiavelli himself was cast out of the stage he most loved. Once Florence's trusted diplomat, he fell victim to the rise of a new ruling family. Accused of conspiracy, tortured, and exiled, he seemed broken, stripped of influence, stripped of dignity. Yet in the silence of his exile, he wrote The Prince, a book that would forever stain his name with both infamy and immortality. Unlike the idealists of his age who dreamed of virtuous rulers and just republics, Machiavelli offered no comfort. He wrote not of what leaders ought to be, but of what they truly are, and his conclusion was stark. Morality is optional, appearances are everything, and survival is the only virtue power respects. At the heart of his thought is a line as chilling as it is unforgettable. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few know what you truly are. With this, he pierced through the illusions of human judgment. He understood that human beings, by nature, are not seekers of truth but believers in appearances. We do not follow the most virtuous, we follow the most convincing. Not the truly wise, but the one who carries himself as if he were wise. The stage lights blind us. The mask is mistaken for the face. This is a fatal crack in the foundation of leadership, and it is why the world so often elevates the reckless, the shallow, and the incompetent. It is not ability that propels them forward. It is their mastery of illusion. Look at our age. The politicians who speak with absolute certainty despite knowing little, the executives whose charisma hides failing empires, the influencers whose confidence outweighs their substance. Machiavelli saw their shadows centuries ago. Style triumphs over wisdom. Boldness eclipses competence. Confidence disguises ignorance. We want to believe intelligence naturally rises to the top, that the most thoughtful minds, the most self-aware leaders, will guide us toward a better world. But history whispers a harsher truth. Intelligence often handicaps. The truly wise hesitate, reflect, and second guess. They are conscious of complexity, aware of the limits of their own knowledge. And in the brutal theater of power, hesitation is fatal. The crowd does not read wisdom and caution. It reads weakness. Think of Socrates, the philosopher who declared, "I know that I know nothing." His life was devoted to questioning, to doubt, to peeling back illusions. Yet Athens condemned him, not crowned him. He was silenced for his wisdom, because wisdom unsettles. In contrast, history remembers countless demagogues who rose not by admitting ignorance but by proclaiming certainty. I alone am right. Here lies a paradox. Where philosophy breeds humility, power rewards arrogance. Modern psychology confirms what Machiavelli intuited. Studies show that intelligence aids leadership only up to a point, beyond which it alienates. The highly intelligent often fail to translate their insights to the public, while simpler, bolder voices command attention. This is because the human mind is built for simplicity, not nuance. We crave clarity, even when it deceives us. Certainty comforts, ambiguity exhausts. Thus, in moments of crisis, it is not the philosopher king who rises. It is the confident fool. This is a tragedy revealed by the Dunning-Kruger effect. The less one knows, the more certain one feels. The ignorant overestimate themselves, the wise underestimate. And in the arena of leadership, confidence is mistaken for competence again and again. Shakespeare captured it long before science. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. History is littered with Adam Newmans and Commoduses, leaders whose bravado masked their incompetence, yet who commanded trust until collapse was unavoidable. Their downfall does not erase the fact that, for a time, they ruled, and while they reigned, their confidence was mistaken for vision. Psychology explains why. In the eyes of the group, certainty is survival. People would rather follow the wrong answer spoken with confidence than the right answer spoken with doubt. This instinct once helped us endure. In the wild, hesitation could mean death. The tribe rallied behind decisive leaders. But in today's world of complex systems and fragile economies, the same instinct turns against us. We follow the loudest, not the wisest, and fools, emboldened by our hunger for clarity, climb higher than they deserve. Once in power, incompetence rarely corrects itself. It entrenches. Machiavelli warned that rulers choose advisors not for talent but for loyalty. A foolish leader surrounds himself with weaker voices, not stronger ones. Thus begins a cycle of institutionalized mediocrity, where loyalty trumps competence, where truth is punished and flattery rewarded. From Rome's Commodus to Zimbabwe's Mugabe, from decayed empires to faltering corporations, the pattern repeats. The insecure leader builds a court of echoes, and the echo eventually drowns out the truth. Why do they do this? Because competence threatens. A mediocre ruler feels safest among mediocrities. Critical minds expose their fragility. Therefore, they are silenced or excluded. And so incompetence breeds incompetence, generation after generation, until the structure rots from within. Rome fell not only to its enemies, but to its own inability to correct the decay of its leadership. And yet, the flaw is not only in leaders, it is in us. We crave certainty. We prefer simple lies to complex truths. Climate science offers a painful example. Real scientists, honest in their caution, speak of probabilities and models. Politicians, hungry for applause, proclaim absolutes. One voice admits it is complicated. The other declares it is nothing to worry about. Guess which wins the crowd? We do not want the difficult truth. We want a comforting answer. Even intelligence does not protect us. Studies reveal that the most educated sometimes use their knowledge not to seek truth, but to defend what they already believe. Intelligence bends under the weight of emotion. This is why Machiavelli's shadow still looms. He was not glorifying ruthlessness. He was naming what polite thinkers refuse to admit. That morality, honesty, even wisdom can be liabilities in the game of power. The good often lose not because goodness is weak, but because ruthlessness changes the rules of the game itself. Cicero defended ideals. Caesar crossed a Rubicon. One was destroyed, the other crowned. The same happens in boardrooms, where charm and cunning outweigh empathy and fairness. Systems that fail to check ruthlessness reward it, until morality itself becomes a disadvantage. But here lies a crucial point. Systems matter. Where failure has immediate consequences, incompetence dies quickly. A surgeon cannot fake skill. An engineer cannot bluff gravity. But in opaque systems, politics, finance, bureaucracies, failure hides behind appearances, and the incompetent thrive until collapse makes their illusions undeniable. Thus the Machiavellian truth remains. Power flows not to the wisest, but to the boldest illusion. Certainty, simplicity, and confidence are the currencies of rule. Appearances bend reality. And unless we confront this within ourselves, our craving for certainty, our blindness to nuance, we will remain prey to the deceivers who understand us better than we understand ourselves. Power, then, is not the dominion of truth but the dominion of illusion. Machiavelli revealed the game, not to endorse it, but to strip away our naivety. To see the world clearly is not to make it less dark, but it does make us harder to deceive. And sometimes, in a world where shadows rule, that clarity is the only true beginning of freedom.